Hockey ACT would like to thank the following companies for their continued support throughout the 2020 season: Duncan's Plumbing, Capital Chemist, Canberra Labour Club, SportsLink Travel, and O'Neill's.
For a great game of social golf on a beautiful course, visit wonqy Country Club on the corner of Northbourne Avenue and the Barton Highway, Lyneham. If it's competition golf you're after, wonqy has a variety of membership options available to suit a variety of needs. For further information on social golf or memberships, contact the club on 6241 3377 or visit wonqy's website www.wonqy.com.au. Energy Space is the future of training for electrical apprentices, harnessing technology to make skills development as effective and as efficient as possible. Energy Space supports teachers in the classroom and apprentices on the job site to get the full picture on skill development.
Good afternoon, guys, and welcome to the Men's Capital League 1 game. We have Old Canberrans Hockey Club versus Central Hockey Club. Lining up for Old Canberrans, we have number 1, Shayon Atiri, number 2, Matt Foreman, number 4, Ben Stewart, number 8, Daniel Conroy, number 11, Tristan Kearns, number 12, George Vay, number 13, Isaac Russell, number 16, David Carroll, number 28, Alex Knowles, number 30, Oscar Smart, and Dan Boritz out there, and I think he's number 13 or 27. Done enough of these games, I should know by now. And in goals, they have Mark Ross. And they are sponsored by Living for Hockey and the Knox. I'm joined today by Kel Green, and he's going to give us the lineup for Central.
So Central today, number 2, Tim Black, 3, skipper Matt Hoskus, 4, Ben Craig, 5, Aidan Dooley, 6, Sean Baker, 7, Lewis Shepherd, 9, James Hawke, 10, Jared Brown, 11, Brady Deaton, 12, Dylan Brick, 13, Finn Heggie, 14, Andrew Tomadini, 15, Andrew Crowther, and in goals, Yuri Arnold, and I think there's even another bloke, Alex Green, out there. So we'll see how the little fella goes.
Absolutely, it'd be good to see him get a run. They've got a lot of experience, not only in their group, but in their coach, Ray Dorset, and also Chris Hodgkins giving back to the club. What can we expect out here today, Kel? What's your prediction?
Well, there's two teams that are sort of sitting around that bottom end of the what we call the final four. So they're sort of knocking on one another's door. Central have got a strong structure that have kept them competing. They had a 2-1 result against West and actually controlled West reasonably well a few weeks ago. And we know that for some period of the game when Central played on Canberrans a while ago, there were moments certainly when Old Canberrans certainly played with a little bit more, played with a bit of freedom, and that certainly made inroads against the structure for Central. But there's a bunch of I suppose old and young on both sides, and they'll be looking to put their authority on the game and see how they have an impact today.
Absolutely. I think it should be an exciting game. Central have a bit of pace in their group, and it's good to finally see those youth coming through in their crop. Obviously, you've got Aidan Dooley and Dylan Brick, Finn Heggie, and as you said, Alex Green showing some promise, and they recruited all right in the off-season. They have Lewis Shepherd out there, a bit of a goal-scoring fanatic.
Yeah, they've also been lucky enough to get Ben Craig, a bit of Australian hockey experience there, so it should be an interesting matchup, and to see, because Ben's been playing in and out in the Sydney comp, see how he plays within the structure of Central. But it'll be a good challenge for both teams today, just to see where they sit in terms of the groupings. Yeah,
definitely a very tight competition in the men's. Obviously, Albury having to pull the pin due to COVID, but it's really anyone's game. West and Goulburn are obviously red hot, but those third and fourth spots, as you said, are anyone's.
Yep, and it looks like a bit of a press early by Old Canberrans against Central, just to sort of see what's going on around the back, and we'll see how that midfield handles that.
Absolutely, opportunity here. This is Jared Brown building it up. Good full press there. Dan Coronori directing these young players around. George Vay putting a lot of heat on this Central players.
One thing I noticed about old Canberrans is they're a bunch of workhorses. A lot of their stalwarts and their youngsters, they don't make a lot of bad decisions. They're still able to play occasionally off the stick using what structure they have, but they still seem to find one of well, and they're very, very strong on the ball.
Definitely, and as you've seen there, good steal by Aiden Dooley. Opportunity here, he's looking for the corner, and the ref's called it high. And you have to be pretty high to have that come off Shea's long legs.
So old Canberrans sort of countering early, trying to break the fall away from Canberra, and see if they can catch them off guard and get numbers up in attack.
Definitely good build up there through Isaac Russell. I think the difference here for Czechs and the key for them, I think, will be slowing down and not letting Central run all over them and exploit them with their pace. Good courage by Matty Hotchkiss, running at Shea. Long-time teammates in the Canberra Lakers. George Fade just unlucky with the trap. It's well read and picked off. An opportunity here for Central.
Looks like Central reloading again. Take their time. They'll probably just move the ball around the back. Look for the right angle here. Ben Craig tends to be quite aggressive with his passing. And we'll test the midfield of old Canberrans. Young Brady Deaton there. Good, strong young player. Just almost nudging towards the experienced part of the Central group. Just playing a strong role in the midfield these days and sort of controlling the young fellas and their enthusiasm.
Absolutely, and I think Jamie Hawke provides a bit for the Central through the midfield. He's incredibly fit, and he's also got that electric pace when he needs to put the burners on. But a lot of confidence after a very solid season with the Canberra Chill last year.
Yeah, he's having a really, really good season. He's been almost dominant for Central in that position. His skills are at a high level and his execution's been good. And he's really bringing other players into quite attacking positions.
Absolutely. Opportunity here for Louis Shepherd. He was looking for the corner, unable to find Old Canberra's foot, but they've still got possession inside this 25.
Louis would be looking to have a good game against his old team, and sort of show his presence here. Things have moved on.
Absolutely.
And here's a bit of a breakdown, a bit of a short play. Not sure what's going on here. Yep, the umpire's by a corner.
Corner, good call there. What can we expect on this corner, Kel?
Well, basically Central have a double battery, and they've got a multitude of options. Sometimes too many. Because they've got a number of people at the top of the battery that can excel in this role. Up and coming rocket drag flicker in Dylan Brick, probably as hard a flicker as anyone in the comp, and in his age he's probably the hardest drag flicker in the comp. But Shep generally gets an early chance at putting one in the net. Hill has a short sort of drag flick technique. But he gets the ball moving towards the net. It'd be good if he could start to move a few of the balls perhaps low at the goals. A few of the balls have been going up around about the hand, so making that transition.
Yeah, it makes it a bit easier
Shep's
to
got
read.
the shot. And as we said, he did. He put one along the ground. And it forced a save. We get game possession, Central game possession on that play.
Absolutely. Opportunity here. He's going again on the back stick. And he's got another corner. He'll be looking to make up for that, I think. As he said, we've got young Bricky up the top. It'd be good to see him do something. He's also got a very solid hit. Obviously, you're almost a little bit reminiscent of Jorgo, who used to be out there.
Yeah, Dylan always been a very big, strong player amongst his age. See the setup here, the double battery. They've used the one off the post a few times. Dylan's got the shot.
And he's found it. Oh.
No, something's happened here.
They're looking to appeal it.
I don't see anything. It looks like the umpires have both gone that it's a 16. I think I saw both arms out to the 16.
Is that because it didn't come out the circle, maybe?
What's going on? They're saying it's a goal.
Have to watch the replay. Shay will be hoping it's a 16. He looks very, very sure of it. But the Central boys will be wanting the
Central
points.
boys are set up as just in a slight fall away, so we'll soon see. Yep, looks like it's just going to be a 16. Not sure what happened there.
So maybe a subtle foot, or it didn't quite come out the circle. Trappersworth's nightmare, but I think someone like Matty Hotchkiss with his experience would know better than that.
Was there a little thumb came in under the corner trap, maybe?
It certainly looked all right from here, but play on. The game goes on. We live another day. And for the record, Dan Borrett's 37. I knew it had a 7 in it. Another play to watch for Old Canberrans. Straight to Aidan Dooley. He can take off here. Too easy for Shay. Well picked. Jared Brown, he's just been a mainstay in this Central group for a number of years and had a lot of success with them in a couple of premierships, so another important play for them. He can find the net in those moments of pressure. You see Brady Deaton over the ball now. Last week, certainly scoreline-wise. How was the game, Kel?
Against ANU, I think it ended up being about 4-0 at quarter time, and I think Central had the game pretty much under wraps, in control of the game, I should say, early on in that game. And then, to the credit of ANU, they found their way into the net a few times. But it was a positive for, I suppose, Central to get some positives out about just getting some nice movement towards the goals and getting the finding the back of the net. And just it seems to be an area that wanting to improve, making sure they get the scoring up and shots at the goals. I think that's an area where Central would want to improve their game a little bit.
Definitely.
Play a very compact game, Central. Actually, surprisingly high level of skill, and keep the ball quite well.
When you say surprising level of skill, obviously there's a lot of experience here. Do you reckon the game's obviously changed a lot in recent years? Can these old boys match it with the tricky, finer skills of these young ones?
Well, we saw evidence before. You know, Siri had a one-on-one with one of the young up-and-coming sort of speedsters and goal machines in the competition, and he managed to handle him still quite well.
Pick him off.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching your game and I saw a couple of the other old stages making sure that they controlled the youngsters with a bit of the vroom going.
Absolutely. Got to shut them down when you can.
It's again about I suppose the experienced players know where the important space is on the ground, and they make, whilst they can't move perhaps sometimes as well as others, they know where to put the opponent into the weakest position to set themselves up. So they just sort of tend to make those less mistakes rather than anything else, and having a sky level.
Absolutely. And Isaac Russell's another integral player in this Old Canberrans group. He's been around for a number of years and had some success, certainly came through the ranks with the ACT system.
And again, with losing a few players from Old Canberrans, they've got little Oscar Smart, who's moved up, I think, from Albury. He's become important in the Canberra comp, and I think he's been doing a bit of work with ACTAS as well and involved in that play, and he'll be probably enjoying his time there, and Old Canberrans will be looking to sort of consolidate this year. I think it's been an odd break for a whole lot of teams, and they've still got enough moments in them where they can cause the whole competition a bit of some challenges, and even find themselves, if they found a way, even find themselves near the fore.
Absolutely. Certainly not to be written off. They've found some form. They managed to shut down West really well earlier in the week. Obviously, West got the runaway last time they played them, but Czechs really handed it to them on Wednesday night. So hopefully taking some confidence from that.
And Czechs would be up for this. I think they would like to own they'd like to have the marks against Central. I think they'd like that. They give them something to build on going forward.
Yeah, definitely, and I think a bit of rivalry between these two clubs, but of course, all in good sportsmanship.
Yeah. So far, we're seeing a game played in very good spirit, and both teams just failing to execute just the final plays of their movements forward.
Just unlucky not to find each other at the top there. They're falling away a bit with their press here, and probably a smart thing to do against a player like Shea. Obviously, he's got an incredible slap hit and the ability to overhead. And Dan Conway's very reliable for them. He does well in the midfield. He's shut down by Bricky.
Yeah, and there's just that again, just that last touch on both teams, just going into that forward third. Just it's been good pressure by both defensive units, just on those plays.
Absolutely. They're playing smart here. They're playing patient, and they're really trying to entice this young central forward line to break.
Wouldn't be surprised shortly before half time, before quarter time, or maybe in the first part of the second quarter, whether we see Central try to put a bit more pressure on the defence.
As they move to a bit more
move maybe to a press, or certainly look to make their midfield have to work a bit harder.
Definitely, and why wouldn't you? They've got the legs for it. Obviously, Wonqy's incredibly fit. Smart play there. Matt Hotchkiss really denying checks any other option but to go up that one lane. Building the play. Good defence there by Toma.
And it's a case of both teams having numbers in the defensive parts of the game, where it just makes it very hard to break through. Probably see a lot of this for the first quarter, just moving the ball with controlled numbers moving forward.
Definitely, and with your experience, obviously through your son and just being around the club, what's the vibe like with these boys? They certainly huddled up the top there and look to be getting around each other, which is always good to see.
Look, I think it's because I've been around the juniors and the young group. I mean, it's very exciting times for them as they each get their crack at the I suppose the big show in Canberra. Some are still contesting for their positions and just starting also to show that they can certainly make an impact in the competition. Certainly, Aidan Dooley's shown that an avenue to get goals. And he's learnt a lot in the last couple of years. This is probably his second big season in that group. I think this might be his third year in amongst it, but certainly playing full time. Dylan, what a player and a future player he is. I think he's still 15, and there isn't much in terms of skills that he hasn't mastered. It's a matter of actually getting him to just continue to make sure that he uses his selection and what he does is up to speed. And I think he's been quite a revelation in this group. Anyway, he was attacking play for Central.
Yeah, for Central.
Aidan Dooley again, just in that, he seems to get in that spot all the time.
The transfer earlier from Louis Shep we saw straight to Hawkeye, and just that pace, that ability to take off, and that's great defence there by Central. Tim Black's such a reliable defender, and as you said, obviously Dylan's learned a lot, and I think players like him, who better to learn from?
Yeah. There's also some players that haven't got on yet for Czechs. Ben Stewart, he's been in around the under-18s stateside. Just an absolute, a great kid. I'll say a young man these days, and certainly just a great person to have at Old Canberrans. He'll be sort of another person that will walk around once he gets his go. But they'll be looking for him at some point to move into this, to take on a senior role as more of the on ground team rather than just a sub.
Definitely has a lot to offer. And I reckon in a couple of years, Czechs will really be a team to watch. Obviously, they have a bit of talent in that under 18, under 21 age group. You just have to look at the rep team list and you see a lot of these names.
Well, you got Connor Whitaker, and you've got George Vey as well.
And
Oscar Smart, yeah.
I think Central have certainly had more of the possession here and potentially a bit more worthy of a goal, but a very even first quarter.
There we go, yeah.
So as we enter the first quarter, that's the conclusion there. Scores are locked at 0-0, and it's some very exciting end-to-end hockey going on here. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back with you shortly.
Being a sports physio, I see lots of injuries. As you can imagine, I've seen plenty of ankle injuries, and I have used many different types of ankle braces, but to be honest, I've never seen one as superior as the XOL. It allows your ankle to move like it was designed to, but it kicks in the moment it goes to go too far, and in that way it protects the ankle joint. So whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just someone who enjoys getting out and about, the XOL will give you confidence as well as a sense of freedom to keep you doing what you do each and every day and to enjoy life. XOL.
Energy Space is the future of training for electrical apprentices, harnessing technology to make skills development as effective and as efficient as possible. Energy Space supports teachers in the classroom and apprentices on the job site to get the full picture on skill development. Today's game proudly sponsored by Synergy Group, a professional services firm delivering dynamic solutions to government. Canberra born and bred, they exist to uncover what could be so that it can be. They imagine life-changing ideas and help our government make them a reality, and are creators and advisors behind some of Australia's most important projects.
Good afternoon, guys, and welcome back to the second quarter of this very exciting, very even game. Scores locked at 0-0 between Central and Old Canberrans. You've got Jess Cox and Kel Green up here in the commentator's box. What can we expect in this second quarter, Kel?
Well, I know that the Central guys will be looking to find another gear. I think it's been a quiet first quarter. I don't think both teams showed they were struggling in any way against one another's tactic. And as we see, Czechs get probably their first reasonable chance in the circle for the first time, but broken down as usual by Blackie down the back there.
It's solid as a rock, Blackie at the back.
And it's broken out, but I would think that the game, certainly, you'd be looking to try and stir it up a bit, the game, from Central's point of view. But you saw there just the quick movement and breakdown in attack the quick attack from Old Canberrans there. Just sort of allowed them to get a good circle penetration and create some problems. And I suppose if Old Canberrans get the ball in the right part of the circle and take their chances, it could just rattle Central from controlling the game, which they've sort of done so far.
Definitely, they've stayed composed. Aidan Dooley here. We saw Mark Ross in goals limbering up, and he could be looking to wreak havoc here. He's moving well. Short corner awarded here. So changing goalkeepers for Old Canberrans from the midweek rounds. They had Alex Jansen earlier this week, one of the under 21 rep players. So they've got a bit of experience in Mark Ross, and he's certainly got the height and aptitude for a goalkeeper. All those physical attributes.
It's interesting now. I think you'll see. It's interesting. I thought Ben Craig scored a nice goal on Wednesday night off the corner, with just a little bit of different play. But you've got Well, the two amigos, I just think these two are very, very interesting characters, both Aiden and
Louis. Both a bit of, you said amigos, I'll say cowboys. Again, bright
just great characters.
Absolutely.
Okay, yep, broken down again, so...
Great running there by Old Canberrans. They did the same against West during the week. They were shutting down Jimmy Jewell and Joshy Carter and anyone else that wanted to get up there and have a flick. So probably have a bit of confidence and believe in themselves a bit more. Not letting the scoreline run away because of one or two drag flickers. So credit to them.
I think Old Canberrans will be just enjoying the slowing and resetting of this. Allows them to control and restructure what they're going to do.
Certainly, and they have so much space here. Obviously, Central falling away. Just inviting Shay to come up the field.
And Shay will know just how to sort of work and break this down. Many years of experience there at all levels. So
absolutely. Someone you certainly want in your team. Great ability to read the play and change things up when they need to be changed. Physical contest there. Just come up into the body, an opportunity here for Old Canberrans. Bit of skill in Tristan Kearns, but just a little bit too high there. He doesn't quite get away with the jink. Good build-up play by Central. Find Jared Brown up high. He's looking for the corner. Yep. Yeah, he's earned it.
Just a workmanlike play there by Brownie. Found a little space on the left edge of the circle and probably been rushed to by the defenders and not covering their feet enough there. Opens the door for Central another corner.
Yeah, and he did well. He's got a lot of skill, Brownie, and he was a little bit deceptive there. It looked like he was going to go forward, but he slipped in behind. We got
same sort of setup as before. I'm wondering whether the time has come where they might look at something a bit off the normal shoot from the battery.
Definitely, I think.
Break out these, take the confidence away from these running out.
Definitely, if Toma can slip in behind. Unlucky. Matt Hotchkiss appealing the call there, unlucky.
If only I could read racehorsing like that, I could make the same call.
Yeah,
the ball was due for a layoff, given they couldn't control the direct shot.
Definitely, and Tom is another player who's got a bit of a drag flick, which shouldn't be underestimated, but he's also got an incredibly hard, solid hit.
I think Tom is trying to do he's been on the battery for many years on the drag flick. But I think he's now trying to he's the coach of the club.
So empowering those younger players.
Yeah, it seems to be he's trying to get all the youngsters to grow and have an opportunity. He still has his role, and he gives certainly gives quite a bit of stability still in the midfield too.
Definitely.
But a good move here by Chex.
Chex, great transfer and
number 11 for Chex. He's just so workmanlike. Is that David?
That's Tristan Kearns up front, number 11.
Yeah, every time I watch him play, he gets himself in really good positions and controls the ball well. And he's sort of a quiet achiever for them. I don't think he's that easy to mark, and he's a worker.
Definitely, he's got a lot of pace and ability to accelerate. He's done really well to maintain his spot in this Chex group throughout the years. Obviously, they had a lot of success and premierships a couple of years back.
Here's a good go for Chex here. Bit circle scrimmage here.
But yeah, very even hockey as you said, Kel, and I think the scoreline's probably indicative of that. Central just with slightly more possession. Just running it out of defence here.
So again, Siri just getting himself in the right spot at the right time.
Yeah, he's
Just
got such a knack for that. He's certainly one of the best defenders we've seen here in Canberra.
is that Georgie flying down the right this touch?
Yeah, he's looking dangerous along the
Wow.
baseline. He's
Good
looking
defence
for
there
Dare.
by Central. Again by guess who?
Tim Black at the back.
Yeah.
I think he's been the fullback in the team of the year for a number of years for obvious reasons. Opportunity here through Hawkey. Goes in on the back stick. And it's
A bit of end-to-end stuff. Starting to enjoy this movement. Starting to enjoy the game opening up a bit.
Definitely, I think both teams will have to get a little bit creative in this second half if they really want to break this deadlock. So Central have been so patient and disciplined with their press and falling away. George Fay working really hard. Wins the free hit.
And this is where I think Czechs are challenged. They're quite dynamic because whilst they have structure, they if they see an opening, they won't hold back in taking it, and so therefore it encourages others to look for I suppose sometimes a hurtful pass more often. So they take advantage of those numbers.
Absolutely. Central really making hard work of this, pressing well. It'd be quite intimidating lining up and just seeing a sea of blue.
Aiden's getting very close to a lot of interceptions down on that sort of that left flank today. Didn't quite get away with that, but he seems to be getting his stick on everything. Whether Czechs need to sort of move the ball out quicker from that play if it goes out towards Aiden and his opponent, just bringing it back and controlling the ball again, not giving Aiden a sniff, because he loves a little bit of a sniffer in that sort of situation.
Definitely, he's got a knack for finding the net, and he'll be an important player in this Central group for many years to come. Czechs really went that fast auto play, and they were looking a little bit dangerous, but the rest caught them back. Shaping back to a back three, building the play through the help side. And Central still staying disciplined. They're resisting the urge to shoot up and attempt to dispossess, which is always positive.
And of course, Siri back there, they're just controlling. They're not being phased by this fall away at all. They sort of they're working the play, and it allows them to have a back three when there's a fall away rather than having the fall.
Yeah, why would you waste a play if there's no need to? Tomo building it up the line.
Certainly looks like Central 2 are playing a back three at the moment.
And a very solid back line through Tomo, Blackie and Bricky.
Certainly like to see getting the ball into Ben Craig's hands a bit more. We might just see a little bit more come out of that, and I suppose push the effort of Czechs, whether Ben's saved himself, but he just seems to not get himself in the right position to get the ball at the moment. Whether we're not looking for him, whether we're not looking for him enough or whatever. But certainly, if they want to get a bit of creativity up there at this particular stage, which seems to be the thing at the moment, both sides just lacking a little bit of creativity. Very much just getting in numbers, short pass, maintain possession, build up again.
Absolutely, that's going to be the key here. Brady Deaton finding the foot, winning the hit here. Looking to transfer through the midfield. We've got Hawkey. He wins the contest.
Yeah, but still slowed down. Like this, the slowing. Czechs are just doing well slowing that play again. Yeah, sure, Central will reset here, but again, trying to get away to be done. We can see a bit of a move here. Ben Craig sort of push Dylan higher and see what goes here.
See what happens here.
He'll bail out here, I think. No? Yeah, so would have thought the play might have been once he got himself in a poor position, Dylan would have bailed out that pass. But he recovered well and defended
He certainly
the
made
outlet
up
there.
for that. Absolutely. They did well, obviously, stacking that help side and trying to get ahead there. Very smart option by the boys in blue. And Czechs just staying calm. Not letting those moments get to them. Still falling away by Central. It's come up high. Never nice to cop a hit like that, but Aiden's just dusted it off.
And finally, we're starting to see Ben Craig do a run down the ground a bit.
Yeah, as you said, has potential to really inject himself into this game and be a point of difference. Obviously, with his experience through the Kookaburras and everything else.
Trying to see who's going to influence a game from checks. Who do you think, Jess, is going to sort of from checks that can bring themselves and I suppose take control of their moving forward?
Yeah, I think Dan Conroy shouldn't be written off. He really injected himself in their game against West earlier this week, and potentially feeling it. Obviously, 2 games with the midweek rounds is never nice on the body, but he has the potential to turn this game around for checks. Just a smart player through the midfield, very patient, but also has a lot of faith in his younger players. Obviously, George Vay up front, being able to link and connect with him and linking up well with Isaac Russell as the other midfielder.
Yeah, at the moment, I think that both teams, you're right, they're just talking about Dan being being fatigued from Wednesday's game. I think both teams are showing that a bit at the moment. Just the energy's not quite there yet, but I suppose as this game gets to more a defining point, we'll soon see who's going to provide the energy, and I think the other team will react accordingly. It's just a matter of who's going to untap it first.
Absolutely, and 2 really hard games for...
As George takes off again.
Yeah.
Good to see him start to wind up. When he's going, he's great to watch.
Absolutely, as I said, obviously with fatigue, and I think Czech sort of drew the short straw, having quality opposition in Western and another quality opposition today in Central.
Here we go. So, again, see what happens here. I thought Ben was going to take off and, I suppose, help the central manual change a bit. There's a coming out of something a bit different.
Absolutely. And Louis Shepherd unable to falter this Czechs defence. I thought he had Shea beaten, but he still picked him off.
Oscar holding the ball well there under pressure. He bumped off the ball, but still managed. He was on the ground, but he still kept his stick on the ball, showing good strength. And away goes Dan. Here we go. Start of something.
As I said, he's just got that ability to link up well with his midfield, and he's still got the pace. Doesn't struggle with the speed of the game.
He'll draw some confidence on that little movement.
Absolutely.
He skinned a couple of central players there.
Definitely. Smart play coming back out and around. Shea just taking his time. A little bit, didn't quite come off the stick how he wished.
Bit of a speculator there from Siri. Again, always one of those nervous balls, and he looks like here we go. Ben's put one in the air. So there's just a little bit of adventure going. Dan Conroy breaking down the right, and then Siri going with a big tommer into the circle, and then Ben throwing one 60 yards to Aiden to try and just sort of break this this pattern going forward.
Absolutely. It's certainly an arm wrestle. Some really good end-to-end hockey. It'll be interesting to see what the call is as Central enter the third quarter after the halftime chat. Aiden Dooley shooting up. Just under 40 seconds remaining. Checks boys up, phase by it, and Central have moved to that full press. Here's Matty Hotchkiss. And Central looking dangerous here. Only seconds remaining. They do well, they're being persistent, they're not giving up. Great tenacity shown by Old Canberrans. Just under 10 seconds to go. Hawkey does well, he finds the foot, they had to work for it. what a position to be in. 3 seconds left on the clock as we enter half-time.
It's funny how those last minutes, that last minute just seems to stir teams up to react. You saw the first sign of a press from Central, putting pressure on the defenders who haven't had it for, what do we say, almost, was that 32 minutes worth of hockey. And they haven't seen a press, and all of a sudden Matty Hoskins is on someone breaking down on the back line, and we get some broken play and I suppose a corner coming out with a number of shots. Situational awareness there by Czechs too, not to be aware that they were in a defensive position with 30 seconds to go and didn't need to be in this position.
Absolutely. They'll take some confidence here. Obviously, all the full 10 field players up on the circle.
What happened there?
Looked like he slid in.
Yep, so
he's caught it for the slide tackle?
Yeah, I think he's probably... If you're going to slide into the post, you've got to make sure you keep your feet.
Absolutely. It's a little bit unclear up here who that card went to.
I have a feeling it's going to Hawkey.
To Hawkey, Jamie Hawk.
Yeah, he's
looking to appeal it. But I think it could be for that slide tackle. We enter the halftime break. Scores locked at 0-0. Stay tuned. You've got Jess Cox and Kel Green up here in a very exciting game between Central and Old Canberrans. And we'll be back with you shortly for the second half.
Today's game proudly sponsored by Synergy Group, a professional services firm delivering dynamic solutions to government. Canberra born and bred, they exist to uncover what could be so that it can be. They imagine life-changing ideas and help our government make them a reality, and are creators and advisors behind some of Australia's most important projects.
Hockey ACT would like to thank the following companies for their continued support throughout the 2020 season: Duncan's Plumbing, Capital Chemist, Canberra Labour Club, Sports Link Travel, and O'Neill's. Hockey ACT would like to thank the following companies for their continued support throughout the 2020 season: Duncan's Plumbing, Capital Chemist, Canberra Labour Club, Sports Link Travel, and O'Neill's.
Being a sports physio, I see lots of injuries. As you can imagine, I've seen plenty of ankle injuries, and I have used many different types of ankle braces, but to be honest, I've never seen one as superior as the XOL. It allows your ankle to move like it was designed to, but it kicks in the moment it goes to go too far, and in that way it protects the ankle joint. So whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just someone who enjoys getting out and about, the XOL will give you confidence as well as a sense of freedom to keep you doing what you do each and every day and to enjoy life. XOL.
For a great game of social golf on a beautiful course, visit wonqy Country Club on the corner of Northbourne Avenue and the Barton Highway Lyneham. If it's competition golf you're after, wonqy has a variety of membership options available to suit a variety of needs. For further information on social golf or memberships, contact the club on 6241 3377 or visit wonqy's website www.wonqy.com.au. Energy Space is the future of training for electrical apprentices, harnessing technology to make skills development as effective and as efficient as possible. Energy Space supports teachers in the classroom and apprentices on the job site to get the full picture on skill development.
Afternoon, guys, and welcome back in what should be a very exciting third quarter of hockey. Scores locked at 0-0. You've got Jess Cox joined with Kel Green in the commentator's box here. Kel, as a coach, what would you told the Central boys at halftime?
Oh, I think it's time to attack. I think it's time to give yourself. Yeah, well, we see that straight away. A bomb into the circle. I think
why
it's
not? You've got the personnel,
and straight away, the results come for it. We've got a corner. Is there a corner here?
A stroke.
There we go. So immediately, that the mindset was there. You saw straight away from the pass back.
Yeah, we had Brownie and Bulls stretching high. And
asking questions. And I think that is the next phase of where Central needed to move today, was to just ask a few more questions up front. They've been doing the nice things, getting the numbers, but I think time to get in there and make a difference. Of currently what's working is nice, but it's time to sort of find something, take the game to another level. Here we go.
Louis Shepherd's just off the boot of Mark Ross. A very well kept stroke there. Will we be wanting to make up for that?
Yeah, he'd be a bit dirty himself, but I suppose Mark Ross has probably had 1,000 at training put to him by Shep in the past, so he probably daring him.
Absolutely.
There.
Yeah.
I certainly think that Central would be wanting to move the ball forward. You can see a bit more dynamic here in the
forward press.
Forward press here. Just looking to see, and they'll pick their mark. I imagine when Siri's on the ball, they'll sort of stay off him and basically get pressure on the player that receives it. Siri will make a good decision with the ball if they press him.
He loves it. I'm sure he'd be
loving that challenge, wouldn't he?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Being once upon a time a wily old man myself, I enjoyed those plays with youngsters on and say, come on, see what you've got, son.
Absolutely.
What can you offer? And again, sometimes smiling because you just knew where the good part of the ground was. It looks like Czechs have also gone to a bit of a press here too.
A full press.
And here we go. The mistakes happened down on the left half.
Yeah.
And we go. So certainly coaches have put it out there to the players to take the game forward, which is great. It's great for hockey. It's great for those playing it too to sort of change their game at this point, since things have gone a bit. Everyone was playing. There wasn't a person who was playing badly on the ground. There was no weak spots.
Absolutely, yeah. There's certainly nothing, no obvious gaping holes or anything like that. Everyone's quite disciplined in both squads here. I know as a coach I'd be very happy with my team. I think similarly to what we saw in Central, we've got this Czech striking group stretching high. There's 3 players in the circle, but Central doing well just holding the space there.
Here's trouble here in the circle, I think. Here we go. Hawkey's come back on the ground. He's gone for a sneaky down the ground here. So are they alert to a big toss and a big play?
Yeah, well,
there you go. He's stuck up there. But no, they've fallen back to it.
Smart play there.
Dylan has gone for the toss, and Hawkey surprisingly has found the space.
Linked up with him if he can turn and burn there. He's turned the Czechs defenders.
So here we go. A few questions being asked here now. Here we go.
As well, he's found the foot, but play on. Very good advantage by the umpire.
Good umpiring.
Very good advantage played there by the umpire. And again, another opportunity for Central. I think Ray's very composed, cool, calm and collected as a coach, but I know I'd certainly be pulling my hair out at this point. They've had enough corners. You'd hope they would have made something with it.
Yeah, well, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'd like Dylan on this. He's been getting goals pretty much at will in first grade on the corners when they actually offer him the chance. So here's a bit of a chance here for Dylan to do so. Back me up, son.
Yeah.
Find me a goal.
One on the nose here for Bricky, you reckon?
I think this is so they've gone. Oh,
well,
and
he's found it through Louis Shepherd. It looked like they were looking for Bricky.
Yes. Certainly, but it looks like by the way they're laughing at it, I think it could have been a bit of a lunch cut there. I don't know.
Paid off for them. Maybe that's the trick.
Lou will be happy to get back in the game and get one back for that stroke that he missed, and see if this finds now a bit more tempo to this game.
Absolutely. They're still very disciplined, obviously holding their shape well, Central, and so much leadership in that front group, obviously through Matty Hotchkiss. Linking up well with Dawes and Shep, and he's just missed the trap, but doesn't matter because it's play on.
Yeah, well, he was coaching old Canberra, and you're just hoping that they've been playing well and that they can hold their shape and hold their structure as best they can, and not let just the fact that the goals come to Adelaide Cage too much. I mean, it's taken Central, 35, nearly 40 minutes to score. So, you have to you should believe in what you're doing. Here we go a bit here. It's got a bit loose, a bit of an overlap coming here. Just couldn't hit their target.
And a little bit of miscommunication there by the look of it. Obviously, Dan's reliable, but he was looking higher for young George there. And
if Dan had got that, really could have been interesting with George being able to have space going forward too, with Dan's good space. So,
good.
Yeah, nice little interesting speculator, toss in a circle.
It's all right. Matty's a workhorse. He certainly makes up for his errors in the game.
Yeah, just there's a smell of a bit of a gear change here in the game.
Which is exciting, obviously. Hope the spectators are enjoying this as much. You've obviously got some interstate fans, Kel.
Yeah, well, here we are. The Victorians are trying to take over here in ACT. We're doing our best.
Absolutely. We certainly feel for our friends down in Melbourne and surrounds at the minute.
It's just horrible. It's horrible down there. And I'm hoping, my family's all down there and going through some challenging times. But just for the people and everyone's working there, I know that the whole hockey community wants everything to be going in every state, because they're sort of missing that whole national hockey presence. There's been a lot of championships missed, and trying to prepare Australian sides and state sides going forward. And even the development of hockey, trying to battle our way, restart and realign that. Much like all that most of the teams have had to do. You had to restart the season.
Certainly, and
most of the state teams and comp will have to restart their programs, etc.
Absolutely, and how do you keep improving if you're not being challenged at that state level? So, thanks for tuning in, our Victorian friends. Certainly greatly appreciated, and obviously missing Albury and the opportunity down there. Dan Conroy in the middle here for Czechs. As I said, he really has the potential to shape this game for them, but they're certainly not a one-man team, this Czech squad. And Central doing well, staying disciplined. Brownie working hard there, supported by Louis. Just outside his reach.
Central slowing it down here. I suppose having to react a little bit to the press. Just have a look at what's going on from the press coming from old Canberrans, and see how they readjust. And the DMs being relocated, trying to find different spots and try and find a way out of the press that's ahead of them. Here, so in and out. Here we go, good play here. Brady found it, and well done by Czechs there. They just stayed patient, got numbers around the ball. And the Czechs would be disappointed they couldn't have sort of controlled that a bit better and broken from that breakdown they'd forced.
Absolutely, and Czechs keeping their shape well. Bit of a back four look. Shea advancing his outside half up the field here. See if they can capitalise on it.
Wow. Good breakaway. Missed a safe shot there by Yuri, and then just bounced off into the fleet of the opponent there. Again, just so quickly it happens, and just a breakdown. And this is why Czechs can't be discounted in this game. They just seem to find a way somehow out of nothing to get a shot on goal. And, Central were controlling the midfield quite well, and then all of a sudden, just a couple of little incidental speculating plays, and they've got a shot at goal.
Absolutely, and great desperation shown there by Natiri at the back. Good midfield transfer through Toma. Up and over, he's looking for Matty. Well, didn't quite give him the permitted 5 metres. Obviously receiving an overhead, but not a bad option. Opportunity here through Isaac Russell. Great desperation shown. Tristan Kerr's on the ball.
Again, just sort of simple plays, very direct play. And Canberrans end up with an opportunity to create something in the circle. Just, I suppose the word is, I like to say it's a bit of my saying, but I was going to say it was, Tristan just ran out of skill there in the end.
Yeah.
Just
probably a little bit of gas
overpressure. Yeah. Well, it's got to that point of the game. We're going to see. I don't think the rotations have been high on either side today. On a reasonably sunny, warm day here in Canberra, after a big week and a midweek match, it's interesting to see what the fitness is like of both teams. I know Central have worked really hard on their fitness, and I've been, enjoying watching with the sun going down there, watching a few of them try and hold back the old bit of, shall we say, feeling uneasy after a bit of a hard run.
Absolutely, I have no doubt that not only through Ray, but I think this group, obviously they want to claw back that premiership from West after the last few years. They'll be doing everything in their control to get themselves there. Certainly have a winning culture, these Central men. Enviable position of many clubs.
So a few more things being tried there. Be interesting if they're seeing the coach put a few more speculative plays in the basket, although he's a little bit disappointed himself for that because he tried a little over into the middle of the ground. A little bit of a break from the normal structure that's being held. Whether he or the boys, I guess, are a little bit frustrated. So it's been a big week.
Huge week for both teams.
Yeah, I'd like to see here just a little bit more of Czech's actually moving the ball a bit faster around the back. I think Siri now needs to start banging the ball around the back a bit more and changing it up a bit.
Definitely, I think his midfield will get worn out if he keeps searching for them.
Yeah, and he too, because he's ending up with numbers against him, and depends how big the bag of tricks he's got there, how big a bag of tricks he's still got left.
Absolutely, they've certainly done well holding him out.
Change of direction, yeah. Here we go, and again, that was just a good change of direction. Well, Dan's a little bit disappointed there. He was only sort of half a stick length off creating a few troubles there again for Central. Again, looks like Old Canberrans have probably just trying to get their tanks a bit fuller again and gone to a fall away.
You're recharging the batteries there.
Yeah, we got a change there. Like you got Finn made a good play down that right side. Matty Hoskins in the circle. Always hard to get the ball off Matty in the circle.
He's got so much skill and strength to back it up. And
surprise, he's found a foot for a corner.
It's his bread and butter, and probably one of the key personnel for Central. Still so much to offer.
It's still fit. Like when we had the fitness training and like that, Matt's still up amongst the top group. I believe that he and Brownie are trying to train for a marathon. And Benny Craig does 20k lap of the lake just for fun, and he might even train after that. So today it seems like must have a few k's left in the tank to go. Here we go. What's going to happen here? Corner. Dylan. They're going to give him a crack.
He's on it.
And
he's done well. Young Dylan Brick finding the net. He'll be very happy with that, obviously.
100% ratio today. 100% the ratio the other day. Must remind Toma that when Dylan's on the ground, he's got the plenty of goals per opportunity.
Absolutely.
And the old saying, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Definitely quality outage there, and it's something if he can keep that in his bag of tricks still, he'll go a long way with his hockey.
He hits drag flick goals for fun, Dylan does. Imagine being a poor under 18, having to be in the net when Dylan's going on the drag flick in junior grade.
Definitely. I remember watching Dylan in Perth as a 12 or 13-year-old, and certainly probably the biggest player in the whole competition. So much skill and speed and strength.
And if he's not flicking it, he's hitting it at about mark 3. So, yeah.
That's well. A keen cricketer as well, Bricky. I'm certainly glad he's chosen hockey as his first love.
Yep. And here we go. Looks like an interesting change about to happen.
Important part of the game.
Hey?
Yeah. Alex Green.
Yeah, gets a bit of a run.
Slipping in there at the left half. He'll
get a 1 minute cameo.
He wants to make his mark, young Alex.
Yeah, straight into it.
Opportunity here. He does well. Makes that first important trap. First touch of the game.
That's it. Give it to the coach. That's a good play, mate. And
just gone searching, but they still have possession. Oh, it's Checks building it up. Greeny working hard at the back. Obviously, got his work cut out for him, marking Georgie Vay. So,
yeah, a bit of I think there've been a bit of that in the emerging talent group. Would have been a bit of training between those two, having to mark one another, belting one another around the park. Here we go. The game goes on, though. I think this is all opened up a bit now. That second goal might have freed up a bit of the minds of Central here, and you can see this. It just seems to have found a bit of a leg in terms of speed and intensity. How will Czechs react to that? Interesting to see. Again, who's situationally aware now? There's 30 seconds or 20 seconds to go. Who's on the back line waiting for the ball to come in to the circle at speed?
Yeah.
Well handled there by Shawnee.
He does well. He's very reliable.
He is. I think he's part octopus. He's seen the length of his arms. Look at the size of those arms. They're 5 foot long.
And a very exciting and important third quarter in the game. Central taking the lead 2-0 through 2 penalty corners, one from Louis Shep and one from Dylan Brick. Stay tuned, guys, because it should be a very exciting fourth quarter.
For a great game of social golf on a beautiful course, visit wonqy Country Club on the corner of Northbourne Avenue and the Barton Highway Lyneham. If it's competition golf you're after, wonqy has a variety of membership options available to suit a variety of needs. For further information on social golf or memberships, contact the club on 6241 3377 or visit wonqy's website www.wonqy.com.au.
Being a sports physio, I see lots of injuries. As you can imagine, I've seen plenty of ankle injuries, and I have used many different types of ankle braces, but to be honest, I've never seen one as superior as the XOL. It allows your ankle to move like it was designed to, but it kicks in the moment it goes to go too far, and in that way it protects the ankle joint. So whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just someone who enjoys getting out and about, the XOL will give you confidence as well as a sense of freedom to keep you doing what you do each and every day and to enjoy life. XOL.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter of this very exciting game. We have Central and Old Canberrans. Central leading 2-0 after a very exciting third quarter. They're looking to bring some heat. Jess Cox joined with Kelly Green. And Kel, what's your take on the game so far?
It was a while to get going. The game was sort of a battle of I suppose, structures. Here we go. There's usually move attack on the goal here. But it was two slow-moving beasts, wasn't it? It was sort of Central get the ball, fall away, move the ball around quite smartly, and the same would be said for what old Canberrans did. They sort of seemed to move the ball around, and I suppose Central fell into the trap of falling away all the time, and just allowed Czechs to sort of get their feet. I don't think Central have sort of, you would say by looking at it, controlled the game, but certainly I wouldn't be feeling safe in this match, Central yet. It's been better, quite strong attacks there from Czechs and one-offs.
Absolutely. An opportunity here for Central. Obviously, possession inside their attacking 25. Looks like they're pushing up a little bit more than we saw in the first quarter. As you said, a bit of a battle of structures. Both teams being very disciplined and composed and trusting the game plan. Good early ball there by Aiden Dooley. Just shy of finding Matty Hotchkiss, but he's looking to make up for it.
I suppose the question of both these teams is you've got two teams that are controlling the competition in terms of in Goulburn and Wests, and I suppose where they move forward, both these two teams, and I suppose you throw in United there as well. What do you do? What do you get? What's got to be found to find a way in the way you go about it to match it with those guys and cause them a trouble? You'd say in this game there's been nothing shown that would remotely concern those two sides going forward at this particular juncture.
Absolutely, I think spot on. Obviously, Goulburn have a lot of depth in their squad and a lot of talent to pick from. Obviously, they get a lot of the regional guys and a lot of guys who have previously played at other clubs in Canberra, returning to their home at Goulburn, and rightly so. But spot on, that West group, there's something special about that. But I feel like if anyone can, it's going to be these Central guys. There's a lot of experience, and I'll say experience, Kel. They got picked up last night for referring to the United girls as old girls.
Yeah, well, I'd be a bit rude if I'd gone to some of the players out there today being dinosaurs.
Absolutely.
The shirt fits.
If the shoe fits, that's right. But I just think the experience combined, obviously, Toma, Matty Hotchkiss, Jared Brown, Tim Black. If someone's going to rattle those boys, it's potentially these guys with the depth to upset them.
And the sort of tackling there in defensive work that's the sort of work you got to keep good for playing against Wests and the Staines boys too of Goulburn and stuff that just come at you and at you and at you with such high class, and you've got to be able to step up every minute or so just to make another top level play and keep your structure and hold that discipline. But I suppose in this game I'd like to have seen both teams looking about but I suppose trying to push themselves forward a bit and what they can produce out of themselves.
Absolutely, and Czechs changing things up a bit, relying a little bit less on Atiri at the back. They're giving their young Knowles at the back, Alex Knowles.
Yeah.
And he's created a few good opportunities for them. And
this is what happened last time when Czechs played Central, is they found a way into the circle just by basically putting it in front of the Central deep defenders and asking them questions, and allowing their players one out against the fullbacks, and basically bypassing the midfield, rather than trying to outsmart them. But as you see there, the Toma making the intersection, that's the risks you carry by trying to beat as well.
Absolutely. An opportunity here through Matty Hotchkiss. This is dangerous for Central. Very promising and great finish by Brownie.
Yep. And there was the risk, as we talked about.
Absolutely.
Of Old Canberrans trying to sort of put the ball in front of the defenders, and Central kept their structure, and that opened the door for them. Again, two of the great dinosaurs, Tyrannosaurus Tomadoni and
Pterodactyl Hotchkiss.
Pterodactyl Hotchkiss, yeah.
No, they do well. I certainly gave him some griefs at the open indoor this year.
Dad's Army.
Dad's Army, they gave us a bit of a hard time when we first rocked up, and I think the comment was, I didn't know this was a vets competition, but they're a solid, very solid team.
Oh, it's just great to see the sort of level of players and age being maintained in the ACT and quality. It just helps keep the competition so strong, and also allows that building of the Canberra competition. You know, hockey in general keeps them there, and so passionate about it too.
Absolutely, and still giving back so much to our junior players through coaching and mentoring and building them and inviting them along on the journey into Capital League. Good early play there by Central. Does well. Wonqy working the baseline.
That was actually Brownie.
Brownie.
Yeah.
Must be the afternoon sun. Kel. Everyone looking a bit similar, blurring into one.
Yeah.
He is a workhorse, Brownie. He's been a mainstay in this Central group for as long as I can remember.
Some of the best ink in town too, Brownie.
Absolutely. Bit of a story to tell, no doubt. But just dispossessed and opportunity for checks. He's just got searching a long corner.
Again, it's just, as I said, Old Canberra still can speculate quite well in their movement forward.
Absolutely. They're certainly not letting Central get away with this easy. The game can change in an instant if they can net one.
It looks like a corner here. Oh, that got a bit willing. Yeah.
Great courage. I think that's Brady Deaton standing in the front of Dan Conroy.
Less than young fellas though. He stayed right close into Dan. So for Dan to actually done some damage there, he would have had to. If he'd been further away, might have copped it a bit more. But he stayed in close to Dan. And as I said, great courage, as Jess said.
Yeah. Shut down his angle as well, obviously.
And the reward there, because that went from being probably a corner, and the play was allowed to go on, and Brady just stayed in there. Hope his health insurance was paid up then.
And he's still moving fine, and he's got all his teeth, so
yep,
he'll be happy with that.
Again, though, just that creating nothing, a goal shot or action in the circle out of nothing there, you see. Sorry, not you see.
Old
Canberrans.
Yeah, the checks guys.
Yeah.
Good work here by Matty Hotchkiss. Still got so much skill and the ability to beat people with his drag. Good movement there by Brady Deaton in the middle. Linking up with Matty. Smart play to just pop it on the foot there.
Yeah, play on, they called play on.
They get the advantage. Louis Shepherd building the play.
Nice out there, there'll be bolt and they'll reload again there, Central.
Yeah, and very smart, composed play there. Opportunity here through Hawk. It's Louis Shepherd. And it's ricocheted off the post. And a corner. Did look like it was going in, so it's got young Dills stepping up here.
Well,
3 from...
Ray's down there, Ray.
Yeah.
Again, let's go with the numbers.
I'm sure he's a stats man, and that's young Dill. He's given
been
the message.
banished.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Dill. I called it, and they burnt you probably. Burnt you.
Dills is looking confident. Young Aiden. He'll be wanting to get some runs on the board here.
He's got a couple in this year, I think.
It's just gone wide, but smart option to go low and wide.
Yeah, I think that's his best avenue on the corners, just putting pressure. It also means that they have to save it. and it allows a rebound too if you can, particularly if it's that one wasn't quite on target, but it was close enough.
Absolutely.
Also exposes for the deflection plays.
Definitely.
And just seemingly out of nothing, checks here we are in the circle creating havoc. No, they do this. As I said, it was almost very just achieved out of nothing. It's good.
Great, exciting hockey. Good defence there. Building up here.
All right.
Brownie
let's
finding
see.
space.
Brownie's friend, if he's found enough legs to get this one.
He's done well. He keeps it in. Just over, but never gave up. Obviously, usually it's finals time this time of the year, Kel. So these Central boys have been in the finals for as long as I can remember. So they're used to playing in the September heat and humidity.
Again. Good numbers there. That's where the structure works quite well. You're being able to isolate a striker and get two people on him, with that player not having much momentum going forward. Makes it hard.
Absolutely, and very direct. They were able to skip a line and just unlucky not to link up front there.
So changing things up. Looks like Okay, so young fella gets another crack.
He's Alex Green stepping up for Shawnee Baker.
So Siri's gone to the other side of the ground this time. It's been mainly on the right defensive area.
Yeah, and Central being very disciplined, not getting too excited, and certainly creating an illusion for Isaac that he had a bit of space in the middle. The Central boys shut him down. Still looking to make up for it. Does well there to dispossess Matt Hotchkiss. Strong on the ball, Isaac.
Yeah, well played there. Okay, Baron, here we go. Changing it up here. Dan coming out of nowhere and going fire it in early in the circle. Guess who? Blackie.
That's it. Solid as a rock.
Yep.
Dill making up for it. Dilly Brick. He's won the contest there with Dan Conroy. And a green card to Conroy. No, correction, that's not Dan. Is it Dan?
Yeah, Dan's coming off.
Matty Hotchkiss building the play. Finds Brownie to Louis. Just over the 16. He'll be wanting to make up for that. Building it up here.
Yeah, Ben Stewart out there. He's having a bit of a run around there.
He's a reliable
good little player, little Benny. Like him a lot.
Yeah, he has a great ability just to make something out of nothing and find that space. Obviously, being a man down, they'll be looking to hold possession as much as possible.
Again, at this sort of time, anything can come out of Old Canberrans.
Definitely an opportunity here through.
Again, just having to try and get around the. I suppose there's Rocky and Blackie. Put him, Blackie's onto you. It's a bit like being put in lockdown.
Absolutely.
He puts the shutters on.
Yeah, especially when he has his touch and he has that ability to. These Central boys can maintain a lead. He's certainly not going to let his striking group down when they do the work up there.
Just reads the player and the ball coming near him so well.
Good dispossession there by Brownie looking for Louis, and they just couldn't quite link up. And just over 30 seconds remaining. Let's see what young Alex Green will do here with this play. Final moments of the game.
No pressure, son.
Smart.
Oh.
He does well. He's found that deep midfield pocket and just couldn't quite link up, but not a bad option by Greeny out of defence. And Shea searching long, the old Crookwell long ball to finish us off. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Central take the win here 3-0 over Old Canberrans. A great game to watch. Thanks for your support, and thank you to Transformed, an award-winning education and training organisation, a major sponsor of the live streams. Their support is greatly appreciated.
For a great game of social golf on a beautiful course, visit wonqy Country Club on the corner of Northbourne Avenue and the Barton Highway Lynham. If it's competition golf you're after, wonqy has a variety of membership options available to suit a variety of needs. For further information on social golf or memberships, contact the club on 6241 3377 or visit wonqy's website www.wonqy.com.au.
Being a sports physio, I see lots of injuries. As you can imagine, I've seen plenty of ankle injuries, and I have used many different types of ankle braces, but to be honest, I've never seen one as superior as the XOL. It allows your ankle to move like it was designed to, but it kicks in the moment it goes to go too far, and in that way it protects the ankle joint. So whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just someone who enjoys getting out and about, the XOL will give you confidence as well as a sense of freedom to keep you doing what you do each and every day and to enjoy life. XOL.
Hockey ACT would like to thank the following companies for their continued support throughout the 2020 season: Duncan's Plumbing, Capital Chemist, Canberra Labour Club, Sports Link Travel, and O'Neill's.
Being a sports physio, I see lots of injuries. As you can imagine, I've seen plenty of ankle injuries, and I have used many different types of ankle braces, but to be honest, I've never seen one as superior as the XOL. It allows your ankle to move like it was designed to, but it kicks in the moment it goes to go too far, and in that way it protects the ankle joint. So whether you're an elite athlete, a weekend warrior, or just someone who enjoys getting out and about, the XOL will give you confidence as well as a sense of freedom to keep you doing what you do each and every day and to enjoy life. XOL.
For a great game of social golf on a beautiful course, visit wonqy Country Club on the corner of Northbourne Avenue and the Barton Highway Lynham. If it's competition golf you're after, wonqy has a variety of membership options available to suit a variety of needs. For further information on social golf or memberships, contact the club on 6241 3377 or visit wonqy's website www.wonqy.com.au. Energy Space is the future of training for electrical apprentices, harnessing technology to make skills development as effective and as efficient as possible. Energy Space supports teachers in the classroom and apprentices on the job site to get the full picture on skill development.